Warning, I'm just having fun with old cars. I hope you get some tips and a good laugh from watching, but don't do what I do on your projects. What is up, everybody? It's a beautiful morning, sun is shining, and we're about to do some sketchy stuff. So, uh, we're gonna work on the S10 today. As you can see, it's kind of tucked back here in the corner, and I'd like to pull it out because I only have a little bit of shade at this house, and I would like to use it today. So the sketchiness comes in with having to move it because obviously it doesn't run and it doesn't have brakes, and I'm by myself. So as you can see, I used this tire a while ago and the front bumper of my old truck and shoved it up here in the corner away from stuff, I guess. And now I'm gonna try and figure out a way to hook said truck to other truck and pull it backwards, because I'd like to put it next to the carport over there. Like I said, where I'll have shade for the morning, because it is officially summertime. It might not be. It might be springtime, but it feels like summer and it's hot. So if I can work on it in the shade for at least part of the day, I would prefer that. Wow, that actually went exactly how I planned it going, which is weird because that never happens. But now uh I tried to get it to the most level part, even though my whole house is on a hill. Uh, and I need to go ahead and chalk some wheels. Uh, Everything survived, as you can tell. Uh, this is why you don't make your hot rods too nice, because then you can't use them as push vehicles. So remember that. That's why I didn't make it nice. Sure. Game plan for today is brakes. If you're new to my videos, this thing's got a Ford 8.8 out of a Explorer Sport Track. It's installed, but I never hooked the brakes up. And the front, when I first unloaded it, when I bought it, they were dragging pretty bad. So the goal for today is to hook up the rear brakes and then kind of pull the front ones apart, lubricate everything, maybe re-grease wheel bearings. I'm gonna do the right thing and not replace any of the parts, because I'm cheap. I did buy I bought brake lines for the rear end, the rubber lines, but I bought them in pick-apart because I'm cheap. I think I said that already. So yeah, I'm gonna get set up and then we're gonna see if we can't get these brakes figured out today, because in the coming weeks we're gonna start trying to make this thing run, and I would like to have brakes when I get there. It's probably a good plan. We'll see. Okay, well, I got the wheel off, so that's something. Um, it's a little sketchy, but it'll be fine. So I was actually gonna not replace these rubber lines, if I'm being honest, but as you can see, that one's got a big old gash in it. I don't know. Somebody got carried away with a grinder. Probably me. But I picked this up at the junkyard. Pro tip: if you go to pick apart, you can get them for like $6 instead of $27 from the auto parts store. You know, some people worry about their safety, and then there's me. So I got a couple things to figure out. First thing is, if you're doing this and you're using the factory brake lines, you're gonna need, can you read this? You're gonna need this adapter. It's just a, can you see? It's just a little brass adapter. I have read that these have a tendency to leak, so that's great. Hopefully ours doesn't somehow. But that will adapt your S10 hard lines to the Explorer soft lines. The other thing I'm gonna have to do, these things have, from the factory, this tab mounts to the, actually the leaf spring perch, which obviously is gone now because I had to move them. So I'm gonna have to figure out some way of mounting that. I'm not gonna tell you it's not gonna be zip ties, because it might be. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe just tacking a bolt onto the housing and bolting it that way. I don't know. We'll get into all that. That's what we're trying to figure out today. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. This is gonna be hard to film because all this stuff is back here. So I'm gonna do my best. I can't make any promises on how it's gonna come out. I was looking for something and I can't find it. But anyway, first thing I'm gonna do is I gotta get the soft line, the rubber line from the truck that went to the original housing. I just cut it off because I was being lazy, and now future me, which is present me, has to deal with that. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. Hello? Hello? Can you see me? Not really. I'm in a very uncomfortable position. Remember earlier when I was looking for something, I couldn't find it? It was my new light. Oh god. It's durable. I just checked. This thing is pretty sweet. It's got a magnet on the base, and it's got a little hook that comes out. And my brother sent this to me. Also known as One More Bolt on YouTube. He also has a channel where he works on old stuff. You could say it's a family-wide disease. So, huge thank you to him, because this is the perfect project for it. Because I can just stick it, and now you guys can see what I'm doing. So, you can thank him for that. So, we gotta get this brake line pulled off. Before you freak out about me not using a line wrench, yeah, I don't have them, so I don't care. I will do my best not to round this off. If I do, I will deal with it then. Also, kind of a pro tip that I've discovered is if you use a metric wrench, they usually fit tighter than a standard wrench, even though that's usually what these are standard. So also, look at that. Didn't even try and round it off. So this is reference to an old short that I have where people destroyed me for not using a line wrench, and I still get comments on it to this day, and you just don't really need it. I've gone 32 years without line wrenches, and I'm gonna keep going that way because why not? Keep wrenching, just keep wrenching. Okay. Oh gosh, there's a lot of dirt. El Dirte. Okay. That's off. Now we gotta pry this sucker off of here. Hopefully. Maybe. Get out of there. I know it's your home, but get out. Gonna have to. What do I gotta do here? Why has it got? There we go. Now we got it. So that gets rid of that. And now we gotta set up our other one. Okay. I'm pretty much ready to put this in the truck. But before I do that, I'm actually gonna put my adapter fitting in now. Because it should go together with it in place. Something that is, I believe, is very important is to make sure all this stuff there's no grit or anything, because you're relying on that flare, and you guys will not be able to see, but there's one in there, and they have to mate up flat, otherwise it will leak. So just probably wouldn't be as big a deal if you had brand new lines like I probably should have, but just make sure that it's as clean as you can get it. Spray some junk in there. I don't really recommend using used brake lines, but I'm on a budget, so I know a lot of other people are too. So when you go to the junkyard and you're looking for something like this, just make sure you check, make sure you look it over really good. Look for dry rotting, cracking, cuts, nicks, all that kind of stuff. As long as all that looks good, you're probably going to get a ton of life out of this, even though it's used. However, it is going to get your hands dirty because it is not clean, which I should probably clean it, but it's going to spend its whole life underneath the truck. So, you know, it is what it is. We got that. Look at that, box into the wrench. Really going over the top on this build. The key here is to get it so tight it does not leak, but not so tight that you snap it off right there. Which, you know, I'm probably about to do. Easy. And the wind is picking up, so that's great. Now, you have to have a feel for this stuff, okay? It's easy to look at me wrenching on this and go, wow, he's really over tightening that. But I'm pretty sufficient at knowing what it should feel like. So now we've got our adapter. We're gonna go back under the truck, and this should slide right in place of the original one. And then we'll have to do a little of the original brake line because this is obviously gonna be taller. But yeah, let's go back under the truck. We'll hook this up, and then we'll try to figure out what to do with this end over here. So see you under there. Okay, so now this should go. These things are actually made to only fit one way, which is that way. Should be able to put our little retaining clip in. And we'll have to figure out what we gotta do here. Maybe take our wrench and tweak on her a little bit. Come on. I chose the wrong wrench. Let's give her a little whoop-de-doo. That ought to be pretty close. Now, just again, kind of wipe that, make sure that flare's clean. Put her in place. Also, you should not have to use thread tape or anything on this because it should, in theory, seal on the flare, not the threads. So, unless you do it wrong, which I probably have. Put us a little wrench on here, so hopefully we don't break it off. I know you guys probably can't see, so you just have to believe me that it's going great. Everything's fine. I love laying on my back in the grass. Not really. I'm actually allergic to everything in nature, so I'll have hives here in about an hour. Okay, I think we should be good there. So, as long as this fitting, hopefully you guys can see, as long as this fitting doesn't leak, that is a pretty simple way to adapt your Ford 88 brake lines to S10. Hi guys, it's me again. I'm just laying here. So here's I have my temporary solution figured out for the brake lines. Yeah, the soft ones, you know, not the hard lines, because I am gonna have to work on that after I go to the auto parts store, which will not be right at this moment. But so maybe you can see. So the long-term goal. Oh gosh, this is hard to film. The perches are gonna have to be cut off and moved once I'm ready to set the pinion angle. They're just kind of tacked on there, so I can roll this thing around. But when I finish weld these, I'm going to add a bolt to mount that bracket on there, and then I have no idea if you can see, but I'll do the same thing on this side, and that will hold those in place. I don't know. I don't love the way it looks, but those brake lines aren't very long, so it doesn't give me a lot of options. So yeah, that's kind of that. I'm going to kind of eyeball measurement for the hard line, and I'll have to go get one of those. You guys just wait like a second or two, and I'm gonna do some more work, and then we'll meet back here, but maybe not laying in the grass because I am itchy. I can't make this up. I just got back from the auto parts store. Walked by my scrap bin, and there's a bird stuck in it. So, I've been pulling metal out, trying to get this bird out, and it keeps flying away. Come here, little birdie. Get out of there. It's not a good place for you. Okay, come on. This bird is retarded, I think. It keeps going to the worst places. Come on. I'm trying to get you out. This is what it's like to work outside. Birds make nests in your toolbox. Get stuck in your scrap bin. You were almost out, dude. Do you not want out? This is confusing. I swear, it's like this bird doesn't want out of here. Well, I caught a bird. Fly away. Don't come back. Yeah, I can't make that up. I guess I'll put all my scrap back in my scrap bin now that we got it out. Okay. We saved our bird, and I don't know if you guys can see anything. Oh, there's my elbow. That was not funny. Okay. All right, we're off to a good start. So I bought, this is a longer piece of brake line than I wanted, because they did not have a very good selection. But I also don't have a flaring tool, so we're gonna try and just make this work for now. And then maybe I'll order a flaring tool and we'll make it better later. Or maybe we won't. But I'm gonna spend a little while with my little tubing bender and see if I can make this fit in here and not look like complete garbage, which you guys know by now it's probably gonna look like complete garbage. So just hang out while I work just like normal. I don't get a lot of help out of you guys, but it's fine. I'm not upset about it. Well, you know how I'm always telling you guys what an idiot I am? It's because I am. Truck's still over there. So, you watched me bend this all up. Doesn't really look good, but it was gonna work. Right up until the point where I figured out that, despite the fact that the individual at the auto parts store and myself did grab it off the correct I don't know, holder or display, whatever you want to call it. That was a metric. It had metric fittings on it, I guess. I don't know. Whatever they were, they did not fit the brake lines, which, me being an idiot, I did not check that until I bent it all up already. So that one's on me. You gotta pay to be stupid sometimes. It's just the way it goes. So I went and got another piece of brake line, and I picked up this extremely crappy flare kit thing. I don't know. That was a waste of money too. I shouldn't have bought it, but it was there and it seemed convenient. But now I can do double flares, and I did not video me doing that because I literally had to do 2 practice ones before I did my actual brake line. And I'm still not overly confident that I didn't screw it up. So anyway, I'm gonna go get back under the truck now and hopefully install this. I still gotta do a little bit of, I just bent it loosely off the other one I made, so I still am gonna have to finagle it a little bit and get it in place. I don't know if I said this already. I picked up brake pads for the front because they were cheap enough. So once I get this finalized, hopefully that'll be in just a minute, we'll dive into the front, check the wheel bearings, put new pads in it. I know all the rotors look bad. They're just rusty from sitting around. So they'll clean up good enough. So yeah, I'm gonna go get back under the truck. I started this project. I started working at 8 o'clock this morning. It is now 2 something. I tried to look at my watch, but my watch didn't do anything. So anyway, it's like 2:30 now, and I've got nothing accomplished, it feels like. I switched out 2 soft brake lines and put in an adapter. So I'm gonna try and get this put in. Well, you guys ready for the big brake line reveal? Good news, it's on. Looks like garbage, but I think I have convinced myself that I can live with it, for now at least. When I pull the rear end out to weld the leaf spring perches, I might completely redo it, or I might not. If it doesn't leak, I may just leave it the way it is and make a couple brackets to hold it. For now, I've got the best bracket there is holding it, which is zip ties. So I'll show you real quick, and then we're gonna actually get the front done, hopefully, unless I screw that up too somehow. So yeah, we're probably not getting it done. Okay, passenger side, hooked to the caliper, travels across around the U-bolt to my other zip tie bracket, over around. It doesn't match that good at all, but you know, that's the way it goes. She's got a gap there, that's good. Another bracket, aka zip tie, and then to the driver's side, and you can't see it, but it goes right around that U-bolt. Then obviously that goes up to our adapter and to the truck. Now it's not the prettiest, but like I said, if it doesn't leak, I think I can live with it. It's not like I'm doing a full body off restoration on this deal, even though I wish I could, but I ain't got time or money. So I'm gonna get cleaned up back here and kind of get all my tools situated, because I have a mess going on, and then we'll jump to the front. Like I've said 3,700 times. So just cut all that out. Okay, I know I said I was going to the front, but I got distracted, and if you can see, there's some fluid around. See it? You see? So I actually put some brake fluid in it, and I loosened the passenger side bleeder because it is the furthest from the master, and pumped the brakes up, put fluid in it. I don't know if I said that already, but I put fluid in it, pumped them up, and we're getting fluid out of that bleeder, which is about as good as I can get by myself without a bleeder tool thingy, which I don't have. Shocker. So that's good news, because that means we got fluid all the way there, so we should have it all around back here, and it does not appear at this very moment that we are leaking anywhere that we shouldn't be. So good news, we should have brakes, and now I'm gonna go to the front, I swear. Hear me out for just a second. You pull up to the spot, it's late, it's dark, you don't want anyone running back at you, so you got your buddy back here. Make sure everything's good behind you. He pours your puddle, you big smoky burnout, back up, foot brake the thing, let go, boom, front end up, you're gone. Ain't nobody run with that little white S10 truck. Come on. Well, I got resituated up here at the front of the vehicle, and yeah, this is where the real problem lies. that is not how that's supposed to work. So, I do not know what the issue is, but that's what we're here to find out. Okay, I got the wheel off. This sucker is toit like a tiger. It obviously feels like the brake is dragging, so the first thing I'm gonna do is pop the rotor off. Not the rotor, stupid. The caliper off and see if we find anything going on there, which we should, in theory. It's I don't know why GM made these an Allen wrench. It's very annoying. And if you're like me, you don't have very good sets of Allen wrenches, so I had to dig in my toolbox and find the right one, which just resulted in a bunch of my Allen wrenches being out here with me. It's fine. Everything's fine. Come on. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I am gonna have to go ahead and order the front brake lines because that is very bad. Like, maybe the worst I've ever seen that wasn't broken. So, oof. Oh. Besides that leaf in there. Get out of there, little leaf. Get out of there. This is not your home. Is that a leaf or is that something else? Another leaf. How do you get... How? How do you get that many leaves behind there? Anyway, once you get the leaves out of there, the wheel bearings actually feel pretty good in this thing, which is good news. They feel pretty tight, so I'm actually not gonna worry about servicing those at all. Let's get these brake pads out of here. There's a lot of spiders living in this truck right now, and I'm not a fan. So, I don't know what's going on here exactly, but these pads are worn very unevenly. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. It's also very possible that our caliper is stuck. All right. The new ones look like the old ones, except for the, not having any material left on them part. I think we have a have a bad bleeder, it looks like, on this side. Don't worry about the brake fluid coming out. It's fine. So, at the very least, we're at least gonna need a bleeder, which is not a big deal. Hopefully, we don't find out that all the seals are blown out of this thing. Oh, we might have freed up the bleeder just then. We're getting fluid out of it now. Oh! Did I get you guys? Are you good? Did I get you? Oh yeah. We got bleeder action now. Come on. Alright, that's... Whew! It's a good sign. We might be able to not spend any money on this deal. Besides the $30 for brake pads. And if you guys haven't figured it out by now, I didn't want to spend any more money on it anyway. So, that brake line's definitely worrisome. I'll probably forget about it, and it'll probably blow out on me going down the road. So, I'm going to stick this in here, because in theory, I think we can put this back together now. Kind of see how it does. Oh, don't mess up our pristine brake line. Don't want to mess it up. So something like, oh yeah, we got space now. I don't know if I ever did brakes on one of these, because I never really worried about brakes all that much, if I'm being honest. Okay, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. Look at it. So, once I push the brake pedal for the first time, it's gonna close up and there'll be more drag than that. But I think that caliper was just froze. So, just took a little lubrication, and I do believe they'll work fine. It's got fresh pads on it now. The back actually has fresh pads on it too. Fresh-ish. They're new-ish, barely used-ish. So it's a little bit of peace of mind. I do think the bleeder was froze up on the, or plugged up on this side, which I think we got. You guys probably saw that up close and personal. Yeah. So I'm going to throw the wheel back on this side and then jump over, and maybe I'll time lapse the other side, or just not put it in at all. Unless something weird, even weirder is going on over there, then maybe we'll look at it. But I think the only thing that I feel like I have to get to on this is I need to replace those rubber lines, which is not a big deal. They're not too expensive. And it's good peace of mind because those are probably the worst ones I've ever seen. And up until a few years ago, this S10 was about as new as anything I've ever owned, and that's still the worst I've ever seen. So yeah, I'm gonna get that other side knocked out, and we're gonna have brakes today, I think. Hopefully, unless I screw something up. So hang tight. Thanks for sticking around. See ya. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so in case you guys haven't noticed by now, patience, it's not really my thing. So I stuck this wheel back on, and I just felt like I needed to go push the brake pedal a couple times and see how this thing was gonna act. So now obviously it's still dragging a little bit, but I don't know if you guys remember the way it was before. If I'm smart enough, I'll put some sort of clip of that. It would barely spin at all. So I think we're good. Come on. I've been putting this off for a while, so I'm glad it's getting over with. So I'm gonna go knock the other side out like I said I was gonna do a while ago. And yeah, we can cross this project off the list, hopefully. Hey, long time no see. Well, I'm back, and good enough for who it's for. Looks like we got both of them freed up a lot from how they were. This side still drags more than the other side. I did cycle the brakes and stuff, so I don't know, maybe it'll work itself out. Self-clearancing brakes maybe, but yeah, I think I'm pretty much gonna call it there for today. I'm gonna get the hood up, and I'm gonna kind of pressure wash this thing a little bit. Nothing crazy, just knock a bunch of the dirt off it from sitting, a bunch of spider webs from the engine compartment, because within the next couple weeks, we're gonna get started getting the motor and stuff put in this thing. So that ought to make for some pretty exciting stuff. There's quite a bit I gotta do. Whatever, we'll get into all that. We gotta make the motor fit in it. But we're on the road to making progress, and that's pretty exciting. So yeah, thanks everybody who watched. This video is basically how not to do the brakes on your new project, because never use used rubber lines. Don't use old rusted rotors. Don't use stuck calipers. Don't tighten your brake lines without line wrenches. Don't secure all of your brake lines with zip ties. You know, all the stuff that I did in this video. So take that as your warning. I'm not liable if your drunk just keeps rolling and you tear it up. It's not on me. If I tear mine up, it's on me. Yours, it's on you. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing and all the comments and whatevers and stuffs, and check out the store down there in the description. And yeah, we'll see you for the next project. See you.